Hi, I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Love is in the air. Well, at least love for Valentine's crafts. So I want to go back and revisit some of the ones that I think you would really enjoy. Let's get started. I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're doing our angel heart centerpiece and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. I've got it sitting on the base here, and the reason I did that is because it's kind of top heavy and I hadn't counted on that, so if I did it again I would do it on another heart on the bottom, which I really think adds a lot more to that anyway, so it's really cute. But I'm going to do it this time in our candle holder. So let's get started with our wood pieces. This is just a regular heart-shaped wood piece that you'd find at your craft store. I did start with a base coat of gesso paint, which kind of seals it, and I already painted it because we don't want to sit around and wait for paint to dry. And it was kind of a carnation pink, and I used a maroon red because bright red is very hard to base coat. If you were going to do this bright red, still put this darker color underneath and then do your bright red. Otherwise you're going to do several layers of bright red, and you don't want to do that. And then I just had my white gesso on the top. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to float color around the inside of the heart just to make it all blend together. And I'm going to be using my color float and put that into my brush, and then I'm going to load up my maroon color, which is the color underneath. I do have a video on just how to float that goes into a lot more detail so that we don't have to sit around and do that each time, so you can check that out. What it does is it goes from a lot of color to no color. So that outside edge should be your color. Coming in the middle, there should be no color. And we're going to kind of come around here, and if you have to wait for that to dry to blend those in, go ahead and do that. You should have a real nice shade around that heart right there. And we're going to go ahead and put our quick wood angel on first, and there's all kinds of different molds that you can find. I did happen to put my angels up from amstamps.com. I really like their molds. They're nice and bendable, a lot more so than some of the other molds, so I really like those. So this is a really fun angel one. And first thing we're going to do when we're working with Quickwood, and Quickwood is a product that we do carry on our website. It is wood putty epoxy. I do have some great videos on that. But we're going to take off all of our jewelry because it's going to dry in 30 minutes. It's workable, for 30 minutes. It's rock hard in an hour. Rock hard also means in your jewelry. These molds are really great because they do not take up much quick wood at all. So it's better to have probably a little bit too less than a little bit too much more. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off here. I'm going to replace that part. Put that back in my quick wood to keep that nice and fresh for next time. This is epoxy. It's 2 parts, and as you can see, the 2 parts are together there, so it's activated when we need it. I'm going to spray my hands with some vegetable oil, and I'm also going to take some of that vegetable oil and put it all over inside of my mold. I'm going to wipe off the excess on top, and This is what keeps it from sticking to your hands. Just a little bit. They're all in those cracks and corners. And need our clay. It's not clay, but it works just like clay. So that's what I really like about it, is my clay of choice. I use a lot of it in my different crafts. Now what you're doing is that going to knead it really, really well. The two colors that are marbleizing should no longer be marbleized. It should be one solid color. It'll be warm to the touch. And we're going to take it and start placing it in our mold. Now, if you have too much, just slide it off with your thumb. And you can see I'm just about right, but none of these edges should be covered, or it's going to squish out when we go to apply it here. And I always take my thumb and kind of clean it off the top if you have more. And if you're to that point, take some of your clay out. It's so much easier. Now this angel is not quite straight here, so I'm going to adjust for that when I get ready to push it out here. So kind of in the fat part, make sure we kind of got it kind of centered, and we're going to squish it onto our wood piece. Now if you mess it up, take it off and do it again. It's no big deal. And pull that right out. Now this guy's lifted just a little bit on this wing right here, so we're going to push him down, but you don't want to push off any of the form of it, so we're just going to push it lightly. I'm going to take my embossing powders, and this is Perfect Pearls. You find them in your scrapbooking section, and I'm pouncing it off on the lid. Now remember, our clay is still movable at this point in time, so you could wait and do this about 15 minutes in if you're worried about losing shape of your angel. Another good supplier for this is bluewhale.com, bluewhalearts.com. And just want to cover all this up. Don't go from here to here because you have so much on your brush. You're just going to have everywhere. You want to make sure you get the sides. Now what I did with my angel, you could take your Q-tip and pull this off. What I wanted more on, I thought it kind of got an antique look to it. I just put more embossing everywhere. Now you could also flip it over and do the back side and make it two-sided if you wanted to. That'd be another fun thing to do to it. And I'm going to add my wax to this to really make the pattern stand out that much more. If you're not familiar with the process, jump over to my website at miriamjoy.com. Click on the MJ videos and it will show you how to do the wax design. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to do this one a little bit different than I did my last one, and I think I will. I think I will start and kind of do maybe a little ruffled look to it here. This is just red Crayola Creme. Nothing added. I'm using my #1 tool, the small end. I do kind of a wax, lace look with the wax. Each stroke, we reload each and every time. going to finish up down here. Just a little one. Okay, we're going to come back in here. We're going to add some dots now. And I'm probably going to do these inside. You also could do it on the outside. To add a different look to it too as well. So whatever you think that should be. Really cute with them on the outside as well. And when you dot, you see how I'm getting the descending dots? It's because you're running out of wax. And these on the other side got a little bit smaller at the end. You also could come in by hand and put them in there, would probably be helpful. Just a little bit. So I'm going to come back around one more time and add dots in between each of these where these are meeting up. I like that because by the lacy kind of look, it gives it more of a Valentine's look. I always think about lace because we always did the doilies and the old-fashioned Valentines. That's really cute. So it gives it a fun look. All right. Now, once we let that dry, we're going to go ahead and varnish that. And I am going to just explain that instead of doing that, give that a little bit more time to dry. I'm going to go ahead and put my 3D lacquer over that. You could spray varnish it with embossing powder, and so that doesn't get anywhere else, but I've already put in that everywhere, so if you don't want that to spread around, spray varnish it. But with the 3D lacquer, you're getting that stronger, heavier coat on it, so it'll last a lot longer for years to come by packing it away and storing it. It's just that extra plastic coating, so real hard coating on that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it into my candle stand. I'm going to grab my glue gun here. And I've got this on hot, so this is going to take a time to dry. So I'll probably do it and then go ahead and finish up. Now on this one, I would like to add a bow to as well. I think that would really just finish that off nice and neat. And I like the wood candle holder, but I didn't have them in different sizes. I would like a couple of different sizes. But if you were doing a table and they were both the same size and you wanted one on one end, you could put one on one end and one on the other. So I'm filling this up with my hot glue gun. Now because it's glass, this gets really warm and it's going to take a while to hold it into place. So go ahead and give it a while. You don't want to fill it past where it starts to slope over. It's just enough to kind of hold it in place there. And we're just going to set that right on in that. And I had a couple of things that were flat that I put in front and the back of it while I went ahead and let that dry, and that worked out really, really well for me. Now you can see that the wax is not down in the hot glue. If you were doing something where the wax got into the hot glue, it would melt, so you want to be kind of careful if you're thinking about doing something like that. But that's just our real fun Valentine's angel. I think that's really, really cute, and I really do like the other one, and I like the base at the bottom of that. I think that's a cute idea. I also had two little cherubs that I also found on the website, and I put those on, and I put one on the front and one on the back again so I could have it double-sided. And I like the way that looked. I was going to go ahead and put some wax down here, but I just didn't think that it needed it. So if you have any questions about today's project, please email me at art@miriamjoy.com. Come over to Facebook. We're always posting new videos as well as fun and craft and gourd ideas. We do a lot of tutorials there for you as well. God bless.